It's a distinct honor and it's more than a pleasure to be able to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Jervis High School class of 1997. This is a great time and a great night. And I want to state to everyone present that those who are seated before us tonight are all champions, each and every one. I appreciate that. At this time, I would ask all of our seniors who are our music students to please report to the band area as Mr. Louis Trombetta, High School Assistant Principal, comes to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Thank you, Mr. Pacer, music students. Very nicely done. At this time, I would like to introduce our platform dignitaries. To my left, High School Assistant Principals, Mr. Louis Trombetta, Mr. Joseph D. Lorenzo, Ms. Colleen Fitzgerald. I might mention Mr. Joseph D. Lorenzo is leaving us as early as next Tuesday to become principal at Highland High School. We are going to miss him dearly, but we wish him the very, very best in his new endeavors. Board members, Mr. Jack Austin, board member-elect, Mr. Michael Bello, board member, Mr. William Smith, board member, Dr. Harrison Murray, board member, Brendan Hess, board member and board president, Mr. John Waymer, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Patrick Hamill, Assistant Superintendent for Business, Ms. Carlene Fries, Principal at Sullivan Avenue School, Mrs. Donna Muro, and our three senior class advisors this past school year, to whom all of us, myself in particular, and certainly the seniors before us, owe a heartfelt debt of gratitude for all their work, Ms. Deborah Casera, Mr. William Mason, and his lovely wife, Mrs. Lisa Mason. I wish also to honor and thank the number of teachers, our professional staff members who have taken time out of their schedules because of the commitment that they have toward our school district and our students to join us this evening, who are seated to my right. Good evening and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, delivering a message to our graduates on behalf of the school district at this time, please welcome our school superintendent, Mr. Patrick Hamill.
Welcome, parents, grandparents, friends, and supporters of our graduates. This evening welcomes the graduates to celebrate their achievements. And this evening marks Port Jervis's 128th commencement exercise. Our congratulations to each and every one of our graduates. School graduations are a rite of passage. It marks the end of one phase of their lives and the beginning of the next. It is a celebration of their horizons and new expectations. 42% of this year's graduating class will go on to higher education, a fact we're proud of. The Port Jervis City School District has endeavored to make available numerous opportunities for our students to excel. Scholastic achievements, sports, extracurricular activities, including the arts, drama, and music. We wish our graduates well, that they will pursue additional education, that they will be productive and good citizens, that they will be responsible and caring adults, and they will be successful in all that they endeavor to undertake. We ask you to appreciate all that the community has endeavored to provide for you and to respect your heritage. And as Malcolm Forbes, the publisher of Ford magazine, was fond of saying, diamonds are nothing more than chunks of coal that stuck to their jobs. Go forth and shine.
Thank you, Mr. Hamill. Each year, we are privileged to hear from selected students of our graduating class as they offer their parting words of advice and wisdom, and sentiment as well to their classmates. The senior class speakers are selected by their position as well as by their peers. Our tradition has provided opportunity for the graduating class and for our community to have the honor of hearing from the senior class valedictorian and from the senior class president. In addition, the class votes for two other students, one chosen from among the top 10 academic achievers, and one chosen from the class-wide enrollment, to share along with this honor. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce the following speakers for this evening's ceremony, who will come to the podium and speak in the order in which they are now introduced. They are Mr. Luke Gurry, selected by his classmates from among the entire senior class.
Thank you, Mr. Siegel. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. These words were spoken by Plato centuries ago and still hold true to this day. For the past 12 years, we've been pushed, prodded, and encouraged to be the best we can be. And this ceremony is testimonial of that very fact. The world is figuratively becoming a smaller place, but that doesn't make it any less harsh than it's been all along. By striving, trying, and learning to take successes with failures, we equip ourselves as best we can to deal with whatever the future has in store for us, and to prove that we have what it takes to make it in the real world. Although this ceremony may seem like fun right now, we all know it's eventually going to lead to about, say, 4 to 12 more years of school. But don't worry, from what I hear, it flies by. By making the decision to continue our education even after we have graduated high school, we choose the direction we want our future to go. Some may choose law school. Some may choose an athletically oriented school. Some may choose MIT or Clown College. And regardless of which one we choose, at least we're pointing our future in the direction we want. As long as we remember that destiny is ours for the taking, our long-term goals won't be very far behind. Look at Bill Gates. He's a bazillionaire. All because he had an idea, focused on it, and went through with it. Someone also once said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But then I said to myself, But if you look at the little diagram on the top of the box and pick the one you want, you'll be a lot happier. Because I don't know about you, but going for a caramel chew and finding out you've been into a coconut one, that really ticks me off a lot. The same with continuing education after high school. If you look at all your options objectively and optimistically, and then make a decision based on what you know about yourself and what you wish to do, you can plan to take courses that best suit what you hope to be doing 10 to 20 years from now. Take hold of your future and steer it in the right direction. And even for those of us who aren't planning on going to college right now or ever, the best you can do to achieve your goals, do the best you can do to achieve your goals, and they may one day reach you at your journey's end. In a way of speaking, it's kind of like Lucky Charms. You may want to choose the sweet, more satisfying marshmallows of fun over the crunchy, dull, fibrous abundance of education. But if you just stick with the crunchy stuff now, you'll have nothing but more of those sweet marshmallows when you come to the end. I guess what I'm trying to say is make the best of every moment you have, because what we leave behind is not as important as how we've lived. Cherish every moment, because it will never come again. And to the class of 97, good luck in all that you do, and I hope to see you all at the reunion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luke. Selected from the top 10 students, Mr. Jamie Reilly.
Good evening, students, faculty, parents, family members, friends, guests, and members of the class of 1997. When my senior year started in September, my number one goal was to speak during graduation in June. Well, actually, my number one goal was to do as many crazy and different things as possible. And after accomplishing both, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the people who made these two things possible. And they are the class of 1997. Now, I'm sure by now most of you are staring at the quote by my name in the program and wondering, what does this 18-year-old have to say that hasn't been said during every other graduation speech ever delivered, and that isn't going to bore me to tears? The fact is, the same thought came to my mind when I started thinking about what I was going to say in this speech. I thought about getting up here and talking about things like future goals and aspirations, but that has been done at every graduation. And then I thought about coming up here and trying to be a comedian by talking about some very wild and exciting things, like toast. But then I realized I still wanted to speak about something meaningful and relevant to our lives. I realized this might not be as exciting and controversial as some had hoped, but I asked that everyone please give me the chance. I chose the quote, "First say what you be, and then do what you have to do," as a general guideline, because I want to speak about finding yourself and being true to yourself. I chose this quote because I think it best reflects the philosophy that I have come to live by this year. I'm sure many of you have heard me or one of my friends refer to doing the right thing. Well, the truth is, throughout one's life, people older and possibly wiser have always said to you, do the right thing, or I know you'll do what's right. But I'm not referring to that right thing. I'm not referring to the right thing in other people's eyes. When I say the right thing, I mean what the right thing is in your heart, what you really have to do for yourself. Because the truth is, no one really wants to be told what to do. As soon as you feel like you're being forced to do something, it completely loses its educational purpose. When I was younger, I always did what my elders told me to do. I never questioned what they wanted or what they said. And this gave me a solid base to become the person I am today. But I realized one thing. For all these years, I was doing what was right for other people. My actions reflected what they really wanted. And this passive attitude on my part never taught me any real lessons about life at all. It never allowed me to make any mistakes on my own, and it never gave me the opportunity to truly explore new areas. This revelation came to me one night in December, when some of my friends and I were sitting around my house with nothing to do. We were all trying to decide where to go, and finally a close friend and I decided that we were not going to agree. So the two of us were going to go out alone. We went to Monticello that evening, and we did the right thing for ourselves. It was on that night that we both realized we had always done what people had wanted us to do. We decided we needed to live and experience things we were not previously taught about. That night, we decided to do the right thing for us, what we wanted to do, without influence from other people. We also agreed to always respect each other for the decisions we made. The bottom line is, we discovered that in order for us to be happy, we have to find truth and honesty within ourselves. And I believe this is true of all of the graduating seniors here this evening. At the commencement of the ceremony this evening, our high school academic experience is essentially over. Some of us will continue our academic experience by continuing on to a 2 or 4 year college, with hopes of obtaining a degree. Yet others will take their newly acquired skills and enter the workforce. In either case, we still have so much more to learn about life. But this learning will not take place just by reading textbooks and listening to lectures. There is a whole world of amazing people and beautiful places to experience. By going out and meeting people and traveling through places, you can learn so much about yourself and about life in general. And you can't get that from any textbook. Now, I'm not saying quit school or stop studying, because this probably is not the right thing for you either. But a wise teacher I had this year kept telling me it's that delicate balance, and that's absolutely true. So whatever the right thing is for you, go out and seize the day. I'm not giving this speech to all the graduates. I'm not giving this speech just to all the graduates moving on to new things today. I'm talking to everyone. Go out, live life, and experience different cultures, different places, and different things. On my trip to Italy this year, my friends and I learned more about Italian culture and Italian history than I would have from any social studies course. And I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. You can't be afraid to make mistakes, and you can't be afraid to fail. Because it's learning from these mistakes and these failures which make you grow. I just want to ask everyone to please never sell yourself short by not doing the right thing for yourself. In conclusion, I'd like to congratulate all of the senior class on a job well done. I'd also like to thank all the teachers who made our learning possible for the last 4 years. It was our hard work, with your knowledge, patience, and caring that got us through. And we couldn't have done it without you. I would also like to take the time to thank Mr. DiLorenzo, Mr. Latini, Mrs. Fitzgerald, and Mr. Trombetta, because they were always straightforward and honest with our class and treated us like adults. And we appreciate that. I'd also like to thank my parents and all my friends for always being there. I want to leave you with some words which were told me by one of my best friends. He told me, don't ever let your schoolwork get in the way of your education. Thank you and best of luck to everyone. PJ football rules!
Thank you, Jamie. President of the senior class, Mr. William Onifrey.
Mr. Latini, Mr. Hamill, members of the school board, esteemed faculty, honored guests, and last but not least, class of 97. As far back as I can remember, I've been given the freedom to make my own decisions. As William E. Henley states in Invictus, my parents have allowed me to become the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. By taking this responsibility seriously, I've also learned to deal with the successes or failures which resulted. I've tried to choose right from wrong, good from bad, and fair from unfair. Decision-making is not an easy task. In fact, some people consider it a skill. There are even courses which people take to improve decision-making. However, improving a skill does not always guarantee that you will excel in that area. People can try as hard as they want to make the right decision, but in the end, the result may not be what they wanted. Unfortunately, as hard as we may try, we sometimes make bad choices. As adults, we must accept the consequences and must realize that we are the masters of our fate. We made the decision. Now we must be the captains of our souls and we must deal with our decisions in our own way and then move on. Since the beginning of high school, we have been given the opportunity to assume several responsibilities. We have had to choose which types of courses we would take, such as bio or chem, which track we would follow, regents or non-regents, and whether or not we would participate in extracurricular activities such as the IBA or the Spanish Club. By making the decisions we have placed ourselves here today, ready to embark on a new journey in our lives. And although we may not have made the most perfect choices during the 4 or more years spent in the high school, we must accept our decisions and live with them. And all of us must look at commencement as a new beginning and an opportunity to make additional decisions and choices. Some of us who are in attendance will choose to go to college. Some will choose to take on a trade and take his or her place in the workforce of America. Some will be part of the armed services, while others still have no idea what they will do with the remainder of their lives. Each person from this point on will be responsible for his or her own decision, which will begin them down the road of the rest of his life. There is no turning back at this point in our lives, for although the times may have been tough and the tide may have been turned, we have emerged together by making at least one similar good decision. We have worked to earn our high school diplomas. We all will face an incredible amount of decisions over the remainder of our lives. Some may be as simple as what color shoes to select, while others may be as complex as what you will do with the rest of your life. But no matter what the decision may be, you must remember that your fate lies in your hands. As a final word of advice, I would like to remind you all that as we leave here today as the class of '97, we will no longer be considered kids. We are adults. That's right. Adults will be faced with the challenges of making a better world for our children and maybe even grandchildren. This doesn't mean we won't have fun, because I know our class likes to have fun, each in his own way. But it does mean that we must begin to realize that our actions have consequences. Some of the consequences being greater now that we are adults. We must choose wisely in all we do, for we are the ones who must live with our decisions. And our decisions have real consequences. We are the masters of our fates, and we must be the captains of our souls. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Our 1997 senior class valedictorian, Miss Lisa Card.
Good evening, members of the community, administration, faculty, parents, and fellow graduates. It took me a long time to decide what I would speak about here tonight. I didn't want to stand up here and give some speech about something that doesn't mean anything to us. I wanted to say something that would make us think, something that I believed in. It was then that I decided I would focus on something that many of us are lacking, and that is responsibility. Lack of responsibility starts out small and seemingly meaningless. You can walk down the halls and hear it at any time. Someone saying, oh, I got suspended because the teacher hates me, the AP's out to get me, my mother doesn't love me, he started it. And it goes on and on. But how often do you hear someone say, I got in trouble because I broke the rules, because I did something wrong? Not very often. And it is this lack of responsibility that will get us absolutely nowhere. But the bigger problem is that those little things are just the beginning. Soon, blaming others for your problems becomes so second nature that you begin to believe it yourself. And that is where the real trouble starts. We do it because it's easy to blame others, and it's easy to expect others to take care of us when we need it. That's been the case for most of us for the last 18 years or so. And as you can read in the papers, it's the case for others as well. We have people who are perfectly capable, but never work a day in their lives. And murderers who are getting away with murder because they had a hard childhood. It's easy to look at them and think, why should I even try to do my part when these people are shirking their responsibilities and getting away with it? That's a question I've had a hard time answering. But what I did come up with was this. You can't spend your life worrying about what everyone else is getting and you're not. And that's a hard thing to do because I think we naturally compare ourselves. But right now, we need to forget what everyone else is doing and focus on our futures, because that's our responsibility. It is time for us to move on and mature much faster than we've ever had to. And to do this, we need to learn something that we're rarely taught in school, the ability to take responsibility. And we need to learn that it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to let yourself be defeated. One of our biggest problems in society is that we are afraid to take risks because we are afraid of failure. So we make excuses like it can't be done, it's impossible, there's no opportunities in this town. But those are excuses that are rooted in fear, not facts. The truth is that if you look around, there are wonderful things going on in this community and in this school. What we may lack in resources, we make up for in other respects. Later, we'll see the results of the hard work of members of this community when scholarships are given out. People don't do this because they can't think of anything better to do with their money. They do it because they care. And this community is full of opportunity and caring people. You just have to go out and look for them.